We're going to start off with Possum Come A-Knockin' by Nancy Van Lan, illustrated by George Booth. I'll show you a couple of pictures. Okay, can you see that? Possum come a-knockin' at the door, Possum come a-knockin' at the door. Granny was a-sittin' and a-rockin' and a-knittin' when a possum came a-knockin' at the door. Ma was busy cookin' in the kitchen making taters when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. Pa was busy fixin' and a-bangin' and a-poundin' when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. Pappy was a-whittlin' making play toys for the baby when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. Sis was tossin' baby while Pappy was a-whittlin' when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. Brother was untanglin' all the twiny line for fishin' while Sis was tossin' baby and Pappy was a-whittlin'. Pa was busy fixin' and Ma was busy cookin' and Granny was a-knittin' when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. You see that little possum? Coon dog was a-twitchin' and a-scratchin' in the corner when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. Tomcat started sniffin' and a-spittin' and a-hissin' when a possum come a-knockin' at the door. "What's that?" Sis said. "Don't know," Brother said. "What's that?" Pa said. "Don't know," Granny said. "But that cat," she said, "that cat oughter go." Then dogs started sniffing and a-pawing and a-growling while the cat, tail a-twitching, was a-hissing and a-howling, making Granny stop a-knitting and Pappy stop a-whittling, and Baby start a-fussing, brother and sister start a-cussing, 'cause a little old possum was a-knocking on the door.
A sweet marsupial, Helen says.
"What's that?" Granny said. "Don't know," Pappy said. "What's that?" Ma said. "Don't know," Pa said. Then I creeped across the floor and peeked up under the door. It's a possum come a-knocking at the door, It's a possum come a-knocking at the door. Then Brother came a-leaping, and Sis came a-running, and Baby came a-crawling, and Dog started howling, and Pappy was a-chuckling, and Granny's eyes was twinkling, as Ma followed Pa to the door. "Now hush," Pa said. "Now hush," Ma said. And slowly Pa opened the door. "Now y'all stop your hollering, your fussing, and your cussing, 'cause there's nothing that's a-knocking at the door." Look at that possum hiding. Thank you. "No possum," Pappy said. "No possum," Pa said. "No possum," Granny said. "No possum," Ma said. Then we all started doing like before. Granny was a-sittin', while Pappy was a-whittlin', Ma was a-cookin', Pa was a-fixin', Brother was untangling, while Sis was tossin' Baby, Coon dog was a-scratchin', while Tomcat was a-lickin', and I was just sittin' and a-lookin' out the winder when I saw what I saw scoot up the old oak tree. A possum was a-scootin' and a-scramblin' and a-danglin'. That possum that was knockin' made a fool out of me. The end.